Okay, let's make sure everything is working okay in terms of audio. Okay, let's make sure everything. All right, audio is good and we're ready to go. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Malin coming at you with part 4 of the Indianapolis Colts rebuild in Madden 25. And here we go. So I was debating whether I wanted to do a video today. Normally I don't live stream on Tuesdays on my second day off of like my whole weekend. Usually Mondays are always my days to stream. But the reason I wanted to do this one is because I need to redeem myself for last off season and really, in a way, how underwhelming it was. And yeah. For those of y'all that saw the end of the last video, we got hit with a financial probation warning because we were minus like $110 million in terms of ownership. So there's a way to get yourself out of the hole if you just do not know what to do. If you get so into depth, there's a way to do it. So by the way, for those, I looked up a video on YouTube about how to do this. You could call this a hack, but it's not really a hack if it's actually built into the game and it's something that you can do if you're in financial trouble as a team. So what you do is you go to options, you go to user teams if you're doing offline, which is what I always do. And if you hit actions, you could add $5 million to your funds, which will help you get out of the debt that you're in. Like you can see in the right top corner, I went from like 58 million to 63 million, and I'm actually going to boost this up to $100 million. And the reason for that is because for those of y'all that saw the last video, you guys saw how much we were in debt. And I was doing some trades to get some money off the books to put myself in better shape. But ultimately, that ended up costing us money, so that didn't really help us. So if you ever get in this situation and you're doing offline, because I don't think this works for online, but if you're doing offline in Madden 25, old gen or next gen, I think it works the same way. That's what you do to get yourself out of the hole. Now, I got myself over $100 million positively in the other direction to make sure that we have some money and that we're not going to be getting in the same situation just maybe like 1 year later. And because I want to continue this rebuild because we've got a new head coach after the first 3 years of not making the playoffs with the Colts. We got a quarterback in Anthony Richardson who may or may not be the future. We've invested a lot in guys like Jonathan Taylor, Downs, and Travis Hunter. Those are our top players at the bottom of the screen as you see right now. I owe it to them to try to finish this thing out and at least get this team to be a playoff contending team before I say, farewell to the rebuild. KJL, welcome to the chat. Thanks for checking out the live stream. So I don't know how much this really helps in terms of maybe getting available funds to be able to spend money in free agency because we only have 52 players on the roster and we haven't even started the preseason yet. So I'm going to take another look here and give you guys a roster overview. So we do have Richardson, 87 overall. He is getting better, but Julian Sayin is an 86 as well. So he's about at the same level. And based on Mike Tomlin's scheme, he actually is a scheme fit guy. So that may be, better in the long run. Maybe we can try to trade Richardson if we just feel like it's not going to work out. Jonathan Taylor is back in the 90s club, 91 overall. We got an 82 Ollie Gordon. I've been subbed for you for a while. Okay. And we have DJ Giddens at 66 overall as our third running back. We signed Alec Ingold. He was basically the only fullback we could get based on how much less money we had. Josh Downs is our top receiver, 89 overall. Adonai Mitchell. We did trade away Pittman to try to get some draft capital, to maybe try to get younger in certain ways. But Restrepo and Carnell Tate, there's going to be more expectations from them this season. I don't really plan on going out to get another receiver because there's no real free agents that are like in the 80s that I feel like could really help us out. And I think it's just best if we just kind of rock with the players that we have and go forward with that. We did sign Hunter Henry, though. He was one of our big free agent acquisitions, 80 overall tight end, and Garland's going to back him up. So we got an improvement at tight end. Raymond is still here. Yeah, I traded Pittman for picks. And I also traded away DeForest Buckner because we got Deron Payne in free agency. Just for context, for Pittman, he was up to, I believe, like an 84 overall. But he really wasn't progressing as much as Downs. So I trade him away for, I think, actually a second-round pick. I got a second-round pick out of him. So it actually helped us out. Now, I also traded away DeForest Buckner because we got Deron Payne in free agency, so I decided to trade him away because Buckner was aging and he was slipping, so he was down to a 76 overall, so I decided to trade him because we got Deron Payne signed in free agency and he was better than him. But overall, back to the roster, we have Nelson still here. 74, Bortoli is our new starting center. We're just going to go with him. Matt Pryor was a downgrade for right guard, but he's all I could get based on the money. Yeah, I thought Hunter Henry was a good option. The tight ends that we had before Henry, starting out with the beginning of the rebuild with the Colts to now, weren't very good. We were able to get, I think, Jonnu Smith last season, but he was only like a 74 overall. He wasn't that great. And he was only on a one-year deal, so I decided to just let him go after that year, after last season. And of course, we still got Braden Smith still here, so the offensive line is still in pretty good shape. So if we do decide to go with maybe Sayan as our quarterback of the future, he'll have a line in front of him. Stewart hasn't progressed a whole lot, but his 76 overall is not that bad. Overton is still pretty young, but 68, not a whole lot there to be desired. Latu, who we did do the fifth-year option for, is up to an 84 overall. He's our best defensive end. I really want to in this off season coming up get another left end who's in the 80s because we haven't been able to improve that, and I really want to improve it. I mentioned Deron Payne is our new starting defensive tackle, and DeBore is going to back him up. We got Christian Miller still here. Willie Gay was one of our free agent signings. I wanted to get a better upgrade than that, but based on the money that we didn't really have, I decided to go with that. And we have rookie Justin Smith and Caleb Spencer. We have two rookies at left outside linebacker. Zaire Franklin still here, 79 overall. Drew Watts is going to back him up. And I'm going with Carles as our right outside linebacker. He's been the backup for the last couple of years. We had some other guys there, but we had Tranquil last year, but we couldn't afford to bring him back. So I'm going to go with him this season. Maybe he'll get up to the 80s. And Travis Hunter is our best corner, 89 overall. We still have Kenny Moore here, but Hunter has taken over as the better corner over him. Frank Walden was a rookie we drafted this year. We did sign Sean Murphy-Bunting to give us a little bit more depth at corner. Pry Jr. still here, and Jalen Davis. Free safety, Kendall Drummond was one of our draft picks, 75 overall free safety starting out. Not bad. Thiemann actually had a couple of moments last season, 73 overall free safety out of Purdue. Matulis was one of our big free agent signings the past offseason, 86 overall strong safety, and we signed Marquise Bell to be the backup. Kicker is Chase McClellan and Michael Dixon, so we got a new kicker and punter. Those were the highest-rated punter and kickers that were available. So our roster is only at 52, so I want to see if maybe there's another linebacker out there that could help us out with depth. I don't really know too much, but maybe try defensive ends. Nobody really big out there. Nobody really scheme fit guy. But you know what? Leonard Williams, probably his last year in the league. We need to clear money to get him in here. And that's the issue also. We don't have enough money to really sign like any decent players. So if we sign somebody, he's going to have to be kind of low rated. So yeah, that's kind of the conundrum we're in because we're so strapped financially with all the money that we spent on players. Is there a receiver that's decent? I don't really know about that. Kendre Miller's, but then again, we would have to clear some money just to be able to sign anybody to get to 53. Let me see if there's anybody we can cut to get. Well, I don't want to cut to give some room. Maybe there's somebody's contract we can restructure, but I think I've restructured everybody that I possibly can. With the exception of Travis Hunter, but we can't do anything with his contract in terms of readjusting it or anything like that. Let's see. Savings. Gould is really just somebody who's just here. I don't really incur a penalty of 80K. No, because if we get penalties, then I don't want to risk that. We've got the roster filled out with plenty of players at every position. We're not at 53, and I'd like to be at 53 to start out the season. That would just be That'd be more ideal. Just give us a better look. But you know what? Let's just go with 52 for this year, and hopefully this next coming year, this offseason, especially because I was able to get myself out of financial probation issues, that I could actually continue. Because if you get into financial probation and you're in the negative as an owner, you have one full season left with the team to get out of the negative before you lose the team. And I don't want to get fired because we haven't even made the playoffs yet. The first year, I think we won like maybe 3, 4, 5 games, and then the last 2 years we finished the season 9-8. We actually started out promising last season. We started out, I think, 5. We were like 5-3 at one point, and then we proceeded to lose a few games in a row. We got to like 7-7. We won a couple of games down the stretch. We beat the Browns in the last game of the season to finish at 9-8 again. So, and I just feel like that it was time to make a change with the coach, and that's why I brought in Mike Tomlin as our head coach to replace Steichen, because Steichen's tree really wasn't getting developed. Mike Tomlin already comes in with reputations as a staff builder. And I've gotten him on other teams and rebuilds that I've done before, and he usually is pretty good at turning things around. I just need a veteran coach in here. I know it's a weird, thinking, Mike Tomlin in Indianapolis, but, the Steelers' loss is our game. So that's the way we're doing it. So let's get to the preseason and let's see how things are going. And we'll get to the regular season and get the roster the way that we want it, even though more than likely we're not going to be able to do too much, but we did win our second preseason game against the Bears. We actually beat them pretty good, and play the Giants this week, and we lose to them. So we finished the preseason 1-2. So we don't have to make any cuts, but I want to see if we have any injuries, because at 52, if we got injuries, then our roster is going to have a tough time getting any better in a way. So let me see if now that we're in the regular season, if we can actually do some stuff. I don't think we can, but we'll give it a shot. Oh, we could steal guys from the practice squad. Okay, we do need some help at linebacker. So this guy, Chaz Chambliss, I want to see if I can sign him from the Titans practice squad. Probably not much money. We have to clear money. So yeah, we can't do any moves at all. So we may have to wait until like the middle of the season in order to think about anything like that. But who knows? At least our money is going up. We started out the season at like 100 million, and now we're at 120. So we're starting to get some money back, which is good. So maybe we can get out of this hole in terms of debt that we have. So let's get the 2028 draft class in here. This is just a bunch of not really random guys. Some of these guys are actually probably real players, but they're like seniors in high school who haven't signed with real teams yet. So we're just going to rock with that and see what we can do. Okay, so I want to try to see if now, since we started the regular season, if there's more money that they're just going to give us that we can actually do something with. I don't think there is, but we'll just see. Let's try to sign this Chaz guy again to the active roster. So we were able to so now it looks like that we've got some money that's been cleared so that we can do it. That guy was 72 overall. Just really feel like that we need to kind of, get whoever we can. And also, we were at 50, we were only at, 52 guys on the roster, and we weren't even at 53. And Chaz becomes our second best left outside linebacker at 73 overall behind Willie Gay. Defensive ends, left end. I want to see if there's a left end out there we can grab, even if he's somebody from the practice squad. I don't really steal guys from teams' practice squads because I just don't really know much about them. I tend to go for more proven guys. But Dorrance Armstrong is still out there. I want to bring him in to give us some little help at defensive end if we possibly can, and we were able to sign him. Okay, so it looks like that since the regular season has started, we're able to get a little bit more money in terms of be able to spend. So we're going to spend now. And Dorrance Armstrong coming in at 75 overall, one spot lower than Stewart. Give us a little bit more veteran presence there. He's been in the league for 9 years, former Cowboys guy. I know about him. So, yeah. Let me actually check the offensive line. I want to see if there's a right guard or a center out there that we could use. that maybe is a little bit better than even Pryor. I know we signed him to a contract, but we were strapped. Kendrick Green, 74 overall. This is actually the guy that I wanted to get in free agency. So we're getting him now, since we actually have money that we can spend. And as far as a center, Bradbury looks pretty solid at 73 overall, so I'm going to bring him in as well. So good. We got, a little bit extra money to kind of spend so we can kind of patch up some holes and make this roster just look a little bit more respectable. Because we just didn't have any depth. And God forbid we have a serious injury on the offensive line. Now, Bradbury is not as good as Bertoli, but he's a scheme fit guy, 73. And Kendrick Green, instant upgrade at right guard. I think Kendrick Green does wear 54. Kendrick Green. Let me see. What number does he wear? I think he wears. He wore 53 in Pittsburgh. He wore 50 with the Steelers. So is somebody wearing 53? Because I think I want to change that. Not on the defense. Joe Ross. Well, he's a fictional player, so I'm going to change his number to something random. Change his number to 54. Give Kendrick Green 53 coming in here to be our right guard for the season. I mean, he's better rated than who we had before as far as Pryor, so we're going to go with him. We're going to keep Pryor though for the season, just because for just for depth reasons. I plan on doing that. But bring Kendrick Green in here. That's going to be a help for us. 74 overall. He's also a scheme fit guy. So we got an 83, 74, 74, 92, 87 on the offensive line. Left end, 76, 75 for depth, 84. Defensive tackle. Let me see if there's a guy in the 70s out there at defensive tackle that we could use. I want to go out and just kind of exhaust. I want to make sure I want to use my options. Well, we're going to bring back DeForest Buckner. It looks like whoever we traded him to, they decided to cut him. So we're going to bring him back. Bring him back to Indy. Oh, the irony, but it is what it is. There's not really, I think, any... Let me actually go and take a look at receivers really quickly. I'm bringing in Cooper Kupp for help. Like last year, bring in another receiver, give us a little bit of help, because we got a bunch of young guys there. So give us a little bit of help at receiver. Now, we're going to have to do some cutting, of course, but I do think it's something we can do. So Cooper Kupp is going to come in. I don't think we can give him number 10 because that's Mitchell's number. So Cooper Kupp, we're going to give him some number in the teens. I don't know what number in the teens, but we can probably give him something. Give him number 11. Cooper Kupp is going to give Pittman's old number. This could be one of his last years in the league. You never know. But he gives us help at receiver at the number 2 spot. So that'll give us a bit of a help there. And I think I want to bring in a third tight end to give us a little bit of help. Just so we have some depth and got a little bit more help. I'm going to bring in Foster Moreau. Fortunately, we're able to spend all this money. We're not, strapped right now. At least, not yet. So yeah. So Moreau becomes our second best tight end. Garland, I'm going to change his number to something else since Moreau's number is 87. I know this is a lot of menu stuff, and we'll get into the actual season here in a bit, but just want to make some adjustments and kind of get the roster the way that I wanted, especially after all the disastrous money issues we had this past offseason, get a chance to redeem myself a little bit. And I'm really trying to sign guys that fit the scheme because we're going with a new head coach in Tomlin, so I want to stick with some guys that are more scheme fitters from now on if I possibly can. Cooper Kupp notwithstanding, but that's kind of the direction that we're going. I wish there was more defensive end help, but there really wasn't. So we brought back Buckner. Can we give him 99 back? I don't know if we can. But let's see if we can do that. We can give him 99. All right, so DeForest Buckner, he's going to rock 99 like he used to. We signed that Chaz guy. That's really more of kind of thinking about stockpiling guys for the future. And yeah. Okay, so I think we're pretty good, but we do need to make some adjustments with the roster because we have to cut like 8 players. Practice squad sign. We have that Chaz guy in our practice squad. Let's cut 6 players. We're going to have to obviously make some cuts, but you know what? This is better than what we had to do, than the fact that we didn't have to make any cuts because we didn't have anybody on our roster, basically. All right. Let's see. Can we... Barch will give us a cap penalty, so I'm not a fan of that. What about Eckenberg? That'll be a penalty as well. I'm just going to cut Overton. I think we've hit the end of the road with him. He really hasn't developed, and I think I'm running out of patience. Defensive tackles, that'll be a penalty, so I don't want to do that. Middle linebackers, don't really have any depth there. What about corners? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to cut Davies. It's not Davis, it's Davies, I think. Well, looks like we've got no choice but to get cap penalties. So Gould, it'll incur a penalty of 80K. We're just going to have to take it. And the same thing with Keaton. We're just going to have to. We're just going to do that. We got 6 receivers now. And Ben Barch, I'm just going to get rid of you. Eckenberg, I know we signed you in free agency, but we're gonna unfortunately be dealing with cap penalties, which I don't like, but you got to make the roster the way you want to. Okay. So let me actually go to the depth chart and let me make some adjustments because it looked like that we have 2 centers that are about the same rating, but no, he's better than Bradbury, so we're going to go with him, even though we signed him. All right. So let's simulate to the middle of the season and see where this team is at. It's kind of a mixed bag, but let's see. Well, that's not a good way to start the year. Start out the year 2-5, so it looks like we're kind of back to our old ways of really kind of almost in a way starting from scratch. So that doesn't really make me feel too great about it. And, I think it may be time to go with the young QB. Give Julian Sayin a chance to play and really see what he can do. I think that's the direction that I'm leaning towards, guys, and I think that might be the best option. Just because, hey, we drafted this guy in the first round, we at least owe it to ourselves to give him a shot to be our starting quarterback. And I think that's what we should do. And who knows, if he becomes, if he looks good, he looks like he is the future, that may be the best option to go with. And, even if we don't have a pretty good season and we're a bad team, he'll get in there, he'll grow, he'll develop, and he'll learn. So that's the direction that I'm thinking about going, especially after starting 2-5. I think we got to do something to kind of, get this team back into focus. And I think the best way to do it is to go with a different quarterback. So I think it may be time to start the Julian Sayin era this year a bit early. So I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah, I think that's the direction we're going. Sorry, guys, I have to stand up and do something. I'll be sitting down in a minute. All right. Stand up for a minute. Okay. Scouting nurse focus delegate decisions. All right. Let's take a look here at the depth chart here. I want to see what the rating is for Sayin. He's an 87. So Richardson, you're benched. Julian Sayin, you're in. You're our new starting quarterback. We're going to go with you for the remainder of the season. Statistically, Richardson has done 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I just think it's time for a change at this point, especially starting out the year 2 and 5. This might be just time to start up a new era and see what we can do as far as trading Richardson away. I think that's what we're going to go with. So let's see. Let's go week by week. Julian Sayin's first start, and we lose to the Jets, get blown out, but hopefully the kid continues to learn. There's going to be changes. Well, then we've already made a change with the quarterback, so I think that's the direction that we just got to go. I think it's time. All right, we obviously have to worry about spending money, and you know what? Oh, it's even better. Richardson's contract is up. Oh, we can just let him walk. We're going to let you walk, Richardson. And Payne, I'm tempted to keep around for 1 year. Will you take that? Happy to sign. Great. Carly's, I think I'm just going to risk letting him walk and trying to get better there. Mitchell can walk. Tanner, we could probably get some improvements there. Kendrick Green is not an option. TTVCG1619, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. And also another thing is that a lot of these guys, the interest is really not up there. Like a lot of these guys are really not interested in coming back, except for Buckner. But I don't think I want to invest in him anymore. Bradbury looks like I think I'm going to bring him back for depth. Exactly the offer I was hoping for. Great. So yeah, he was one of the few that actually was interested in coming back. Pryor was too, but we can get probably better there if I'm being honest. And we always get a new kicker and punter. We're definitely going to accept the 5th-year option on Travis Hunter. He's one of our new. He's one of our cornerstones at this point. I'm doing good, man. So let's go ahead and advance week by week. We're going with Julian Sayin as our quarterback for the rest of the season, and he gets his first win as a starting quarterback against the Carolina Panthers. We beat them 27-24. We win our first game in a while. So hopefully this is the beginning of Julian Sayin's promising career, but we will see. And we get another win, so we get back-to-back wins. We beat the Titans pretty well. So let's go ahead and keep simulating. We got the bye week, and we got to play the Browns this week. And Julian Sayin's looking pretty good for his first few starts. He's winning games, and let's see what his stats are looking like since we put him in. He's already thrown for 613 yards in 3 games. He has thrown 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, so that's not really better than Richardson, but we're going with him as the future. That's the plan that we're going with. We drafted him in the first round for that because we didn't know what Richardson was going to be doing. And hey, in his last season, he really hasn't performed well. So that's the direction that we're going. We got the Browns this week, and we beat the Browns. So we've won 3 games in a row. Sayin is starting to get a little hot, and maybe we can sneak our way into maybe being a just below 500 team. We're nowhere in there. We're nowhere in the playoff picture. So all that talk about trying to have year 4 be the first playoff year, not looking like it right now. But 5-6, as far as the division, we're second behind the Jaguars. But if anything, it's looking like that the winner of the AFC South is going to be the only representative in the postseason. So we'd have to win the division in order to make the playoffs. So we got to keep winning, and we got to hope that the Jaguars lose a little bit here and there so we can be putting ourselves in the playoff picture. 5-6 Saints, and we beat them, so we're at 500. Inching our way kind of into the playoff picture. We're still not in there yet, of course. Are we second in our division at least, though? Still? Yeah, we are. But the Jaguars also won, so they're 2 games ahead of us. And we play the Jacksonville Jaguars this week. We win this game, and we don't, of course. In games that we have to win in our division, we never win. That was a big test for Sayin, and unfortunately, he failed. So Yeah, it is what it is. Looks like the Cowboys got a new QB in Tyler Maynard over in the top right corner. So I guess the Dak Prescott era is over in Dallas, but don't know where he is now. So yeah, we do have a game against the 4-9 Colts, a Patriots team. Hopefully we can win this one, get back on the winning ways. And we do. So we're beating the teams that we're supposed to beat. We've climbed kind of out of the bait. We've climbed up to 7-7, so we're looking better. We currently hold the 9th spot, which is one spot out of the postseason. So we're kind of inching our way into being around a 9-8 team. But then again, we got a new coach and we've got a rookie quarterback in there that we're going with from now on. So that's really kind of the dynamic that we have. Playing the Buccaneers this week. They're 6-8, kind of like us, and we beat the Bucs. We are over 500 for the first time with a couple of games to go. Although it may be too little too late because we're not in the playoff hunt, and it's looking like what is the Jaguars' record? We don't play Jacksonville for the rest of the season. We only have one divisional game left, so we got to win the last two, and I guess hope that Jacksonville loses the last two, and maybe we got a shot. But first things first, we got to beat the Titans, and we have to beat the Dolphins to maybe even get a shot at the playoffs. But that's a long shot. And we lose to the Titans, so that pretty much derails any hope of us getting into the playoffs. Pretty unfortunate, but it looks like it's going to be yet another year of 9-8. I mean, the last 3 years, if we win our last game, we'll say at least, it's not a season where we keep finishing well below 500, but I got to do something to get this team into the playoffs. It seems like the Jaguars every year are in there. I got to take a look at the Jaguars roster at this point because they won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. I got to look and see what they're working with. What do they got? Okay, they got an 86 overall Trevor Lawrence. DeAndre Swift is their running back. He's 86. ETN is an 85. So they have two high 80s running backs. They have an 89 Brian Thomas, an 80 Christian Kirk. Ingram is still there at 83. They got 88, 84, 75, 81, and 80 on the offensive line. Okay, so that's a pretty good offensive line. They got a better left end than us. Their defensive line is good. They got way better left outside linebacker. Okay, but if we can find a way to get, guys in the 80s at the positions that have been trying to get guys in the 80s for a while now, maybe that'll give us a chance in the near future. And that's all I can hope for. I'm going to take a look and see what the stats have been looking like for Julian Sayin. Well, he's definitely passed, obviously, more than since we benched Richardson. He's thrown 12 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, which is not, very good. But, hey, for a rookie quarterback that we threw into the fire for Ohio State, I can't ask for too much more. But Jonathan Taylor's already over 1,100 yards for the season, 8 touchdowns. We have 8 touchdowns also from Ollie Gordon. So the running game has been doing work as far as scoring touchdowns on the ground. Jonathan Taylor looks like he's having another Pro Bowl season. Seating-wise, Josh Downs is already over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. We got 6 from Cooper Kupp. He's 108 yards away from a 1,000-yard season, and we signed him off the scrap heap. Hunter Henry has stepped up this year, which I hope was an improvement at tight end, and it looks like it is. 521 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mitchell has 2 touchdowns as well. So Sayin has been spreading the ball around, it looks like. Relying on his weapons and relying on the running game. But, hey, if I got no problem relying on a 91 overall running back and also a good backup running back in Ollie Gordon to kind of take the pressure off of the rookie quarterback. So that's looking good. Now, Julian Sayin is somebody that I've kind of been drafting, in these rebuilds and stuff like that. I mean, he wears, it looks like number 10 at Ohio State. So ideally, I like to give him that number back, but wearing 14 for right now I think is going to suit him okay. He plays at Ohio State. So, yeah. Okay. Well, we got a game against the Dolphins. They're 8-8. We're 8-8 as well, so it's a battle of the 8-8s. We're playing them at home. And this is a chance for Julian Sayin in his rookie season, even though we didn't start the whole season, to get a winning record as a rookie quarterback that we drafted in the first round.
It's week 18 of the National Football
There's the future right there, the rookie. 12 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, since we put him in there. I'm not saying that maybe Anthony Richardson couldn't have turned it around, but because his contract is up, the future is now, and the future is Julian Sayin. It's not Anthony Richardson. We are not bringing him back. He's going to hit the open market, and we're going to go forward with a new QB. We want to give our fans something to be excited about going into next year with the rookie. And so I want to really come out and play well with Sayin when we're on offense. Looks like the Dolphins still have a lot of the same characters. I see Achane, I see Tua, and Tyreek Hill is still there. Of course, I rebuilt the Dolphins in the last series. But not with Tua. It was with Arch Manning as our quarterback. But we forced a 3-and-out. So here we are on offense, first down here. And Sayin with the offense. Jonathan Taylor, 3-yard gain in the first play for us. Of the drive, at least. Mitchell. There you go, Mitchell. Great catch. There we go. First down. Good throw by Sayin.
First and 10, Taylor now.
Break that tackle, Taylor. Oh, okay, he almost broke it, but he kind of spun and got a few extra yards there, so that's good.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on
and run this football.
Second down, another run with Taylor. He'll get only a couple down
for the first down. I'm going to risk running it on third down. It's third and, not very long to go. So, with a shot. And Taylor picks it up and more. Let's go. Good drive going. So we got an injury, though. The RPO here. Now let's go with a mesh concept. Give the rookie something easy to check down to. And just give it to Downs, our top receiver.
Completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up second down. Back to throw here.
Good catch, Downs. Way to hold on to that ball. Cooper Kupp. We'll put him back in if the injury risk is medium. Well, that's the end of the first quarter. No score, but we're on a pretty good drive right now. Got a chance to get some points here to open up the scoring.
Second quarter now.
There's Mike Tomlin.
With the homestanding Colts in possession.
Probably never imagined he'd be wearing the Colts colors as head coach. Here we are in the Madden universe. Hunter Henry, great grab over the middle. First and goal situation coming up. Let's hand it off to our power running back, Jonathan Taylor. See if he can finish off this drive. All right, there. Oh, the blocking was great. Break a tackle, touchdown, Jonathan Taylor. Let's go. That's our identity. Take pressure off the rookie quarterback. Give it to your all-pro, Pro Bowl running back. Nothing wrong with being a running football team.
Coming up here, this defense looking for a third down stop.
Third down, 7 for the Dolphins. Armstrong. Incomplete. Fourth down, off the field. Good job, Dean. But another good drive going here. It's third down. 2-minute warning here. Really want to get some more points before the half. Keep putting the pressure on Miami. With a bunch trail here. This play usually works pretty well. Somebody going to move. Then Mitchell, first down. Let's go. Big play there. Off balance. Instead of run it. Probably not.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. Second and goal.
We'll switch.
They'll look to throw here.
Mitchell, out route.
He's got his man. It's Mitchell.
Call timeout.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little
go with the goal line
seconds to go in the first half. They'll look to throw on
Rayu, catch, touchdown. Great out route thrown by Sam Rayu with the TD. We go up 21-0 with another score. It's 4th and 8. It's the fourth quarter. Dolphins are in 4-down territory here.
Offense staying out there, and they are going on 4th down. Fourth down, fourth quarter. Here's two.
Pick that, Moore. Intercepted. Let's go, Moore. Way to come up with the interception. Just robbed him. Well, it won't be a shutout. Dolphins did score. But we're just about at the 2-minute warning now. Let's run the football. Burn the rest of this clock. Get out of here with the win. Once again, finish the season 9-8. I mean, at least the last 3 years we finished with winning records, but next year I think has to be the year. But we got the rookie quarterback. I think we got a winner with the rookie quarterback in place. He's not at the level that Arch Manning was coming to the Dolphins, but then again, that was a unicorn that we got. He was a 96 overall rookie first-round pick. And we got lucky. This is a different scenario. Sayan was a first-round pick, and he did pretty well this season. And he probably is going to get up to the high 80s by the end of the season and be our main guy. So I'm comfortable going with him as the starter, and he's also a scheme fit guy. So that makes you feel more confident in him that he's the right guy for the job. I don't think it's time to go out and try to do a big-time trade for a veteran quarterback, because a lot of the veteran quarterbacks, they're starting to lose it in terms of overalls. So I don't want to spend money or future picks on somebody who may not 100% pan out. That's the reality that I'm thinking. So anyway, let's go ahead, take a knee, keep letting the clock run out. We're going to win this game comfortably 21-7. And we're going to wrap up the season 9-8. The Dolphins are going to finish 8-9. So they finish with a losing record. We finish with a winning record. So that's the way that it goes. Julian Sayin wraps up his rookie season. He didn't start all 17 games, but he came in after that 2-5 start, and he gave new life to this offense based on what I was seeing. So I think he's earned the starting job for 2028, and I think that's the direction that we're going with our quarterback situation. Had a feeling, but that's why I decided to draft Sayin to get somebody in there as the heir apparent to Richardson when he ultimately walks, and that's what's going to happen. He's going to hit the open market. We're not going to bring him back, and that's what we're going. That's the direction we're going. And, of course, we didn't lose the team, so we get to continue this journey and keep it up. And it looks like that Latu actually won AFC Defensive Player of the Week with 5 tackles and 3 sacks to wrap up the regular season. So, good game for him. Let's take a look at the playoff bracket for year number 4. Once again, no playoffs for us. Chiefs and the Bengals, the Bills and the Broncos, the Jaguars and the Jets, and the Steelers have the number 1 seed. And I think if my memory serves me correct in terms of who they got, I think they actually drafted Arch Manning this year. So you draft Arch Manning in 2027, you get better instantly, and you become a playoff championship contender. NFC side, Packers against the Bucks. We got the 49ers against the Lions, and the Panthers against the Eagles. The Giants have the number 1 seed. So those are the playoffs for year 4. That's what things are looking like. Not going to make any staff moves because we got Mike Tomlin here for the foreseeable future. So let's go ahead and simulate through the postseason and see what happens. So here we are with Pro Bowl week. Let's say the Pro Bowl. Let's take a look at the bracket and see what happens. So the Chiefs beat the Bengals. The Bills beat the Broncos. The Jaguars beat the Jets, so the Steelers beat the Jaguars, and the Chiefs beat the Bills, so all the upper seeds won. And then, of course, the Steelers beat the Chiefs convincingly, and they go to the Super Bowl. NFC, Packers beat the Bucks, the Lions, the 49ers beat the Lions, the Panthers beat the Eagles, and then in the divisional round, it's the 49ers with the only upset of the postseason against the Packers, and then the Giants beat the Panthers, so it's Giants, 49ers, and then another upset in the NFC Championship game. The 49ers go on the road and beat the Giants. So it is the Steelers and the 49ers in the Super Bowl in 2027. So 49ers are back in the championship game. Let's see if anybody made the Pro Bowl from us. Jonathan Taylor made it. Not surprised. What about offensive linemen? No offensive. Wait, did Nelson not make it? Nelson actually didn't make the Pro Bowl for the first time, at least in the rebuild. Latu made it. All right. And it looks like that is it. We just had Latu make it, our defensive end, and we also had Jonathan Taylor make it. And that's it for Pro Bowl selections for us this year. So let's see also who won the yearly awards. Let's see if any of the Colts were in contention for anything. The MVP is Mahomes. Coach of the year is Lamont Booker of the Giants. AFC. All right, Offensive Player of the Year. No Colts in there. Defensive Player of the Year. Latu actually came in 5th, so not bad. He had a pretty good season. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Julian Sayin actually finished 10th. He played the back half of the season, and he got a little bit of accolades. So people started to take notice. The Defensive Rookie of the Year. Ooh, Frank Walden finished 9th, our rookie that we drafted out of Florida State. All right. Best QB, no Colts. Jonathan Taylor finished 2nd for best running back in the AFC. Best receiver, Downs finished 10th. Best offensive lineman, we had nobody. Best defensive lineman, Latu finished 4th. Best linebacker, Franklin came in 8th. Best DB, no sign of Travis Hunter. Best kicker, Chase McLaughlin actually finished 2nd. And that's it. So we had our kicker and our running back finished 2nd for AFC positions of the year. Let's see who wins Super Bowl between the Steelers and the 49ers. Let's see who comes out a winner in this one. And it is the 49ers beating the Steelers to win their 6th World Championship. The MVP is Connor Wegman, the quarterback. And then Offensive Player of the Year overall went to Jamar Chase. The Defensive Player of the Year was Josh Allen from the Jaguars. And then the Offensive Rookie of the Year is Arch Manning of the Steelers. So the Steelers did draft him and go to the Super Bowl just like we did in Miami. And Anfree Sherrod won Defensive Rookie of the Year, a defensive tackle with the 49ers. All right. Well, let's take a look at the retirements, see if we had anybody from the Colts retire. Looks like we had a few guys from the Texans, including Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon, and Laramie Tunsil. So the Texans, they haven't really been competitive per se. It's been the Jaguars that have been the team that's kind of run the division. But, we'll see. And Matt Pryor decided to retire after 10 years, so right guard is going to need some maintenance. But that's the only retirement who we had. So let's go ahead and get to the off season. It may change the way that I might think about retaining some players, but let me see. With Matt Pryor retiring, we got to accept the 5th-year option for Mr. Travis Hunter. So we've got the 5th-year option for Hunter. He'll be here for the next year. And Richardson, we're going to let you walk, of course, because we're going with the other quarterback. Mitchell, I'm also going to let walk because we got some young receivers like Restrepo, who deserve, in my opinion, chances. We did sign Bradbury, so I feel like I'm willing to let Bortoli walk. Same thing with Matt. He was a backup right tackle anyway. Pickett's a backup. Green, we could probably improve. Left outside linebacker, I feel like we got to get better at a lot of those positions. So I feel like that's kind of the direction we're going. Franklin is tending to bring back, but you know what? I'm going to see if I can get somebody better and get some improvement and get some help there. Kupp doesn't actually really want to come back, so I don't really want to force it too much. A lot of these guys don't really have a whole lot of interest in coming to Indianapolis. That's the thing that's been tough for me to sign big free agents is that they don't really want to come here, but you have to give them a lot of money in order to convince them to come. That's the tough thing about the way the Colts have, the way this Colts are both playing. So let me see how much money we have to spend in free agency. $94.1 million. That's not a whole lot, but that might be enough to land at least one really, really good player and really get to the rebuild. So Sayin is up to an 88 overall. He's our quarterback of the future, and that's what we're going with. Got Ollie Gordon, we still got, of course, Taylor. We need another fullback. I want to really Josh Downs is up to a 90. He's a superstar receiver, so that's great. He's really actually developed the way that I expected, so that's great. I really want to get another receiver to go alongside of him because Tate, Restrepo, and Stecker, to me, I just don't think it's going to cut it. I think we need one really good receiver. Also, Hunter Henry actually dipped a little bit to a 78. So that doesn't make me feel too great. I feel like we need a new center, even though Bradbury would not be a bad option. We need a new right guard for sure. Defensive end is a position I've been looking to upgrade for a while. And, Payne is dipping to a 77, so he looks like he's probably on the back end of his career. Smith, we need upgrade at linebacker, middle linebacker. We need upgrades at all the linebacker positions. Okay, so as far as our, one singular group, I feel like it's linebacker this year. I think we need to really upgrade that if we can in free agency and really get some good guys. Jack Campbell is the highest rated guy, but he's not a scheme fit guy. That's just what makes me not feel too great about it. And the next guy that's interested is Dotson. Okay, well, Campbell is a bit interested. So let's see about this neutral deal and see what that does. It takes it down to $79 million. So let's actually go with a player-friendly option instead and see what that does. Puts us number one. Okay, Jack Campbell, get a bona fide starting linebacker. Joey Bosa. Not a scheme fit guy. He's dipped a little bit, but if he's not going to be too costly, I think it's worth it. He actually doesn't have any other offers. So you know what? Let's bring him in on a team-friendly deal and do that. About right outside linebacker. No real big upgrades there. Aleem McNeil. That would be solid. But Dwayne Carter, I think, would be a decent option to go alongside Payne. Get some real help at defensive end. Left end, Christian Wilkins. We just need an upgrade there, so I'm going to go with him. I'm gonna make an offer for him. Oh, where's the only offer? Really? Okay, all right. Well, we'll go with a team-friendly deal then. $50 million still left. We have one more negotiation that we can do. Right guard. Dylan Parham. Doesn't fit our scheme, but he's an 80 overall. Where's only offer? So yeah. All right. First wave of free agency. The big name we're going after is Jack Campbell, middle linebacker. We're his best offer. He's only 28. Christian Wilkins, Dylan Parham, Dwayne Carter, and Joey Bosa. Looks like Joey Bosa, unfortunately, is on the back end of his career being a 73 overall, but it'd be worth it to bring him in on a one-year deal for him. Big spender. Got a trophy earned. Okay, so that must mean that we signed Jack Campbell. Did we? Yes, we got Jack Campbell. So we've got a new starter and middle linebacker. Nobody else is really competing, well, except for Dwayne Carter. But I think he'll more than likely sign with us. I'm not too concerned about that. Got $43 million still to spend. We do need to get a backup quarterback. I want to get a guy that's not going to be too costly, but it's a scheme fit guy. I'm going to bring in Aiden O'Connell as our backup quarterback on a one-year deal, cheap deal. Get a little bit of help at the quarterback spot. Fullback, Eli Wilson is a decent-looking guy. And I'm going to actually give it a 2-year deal. So that way we have a little bit more leeway with our potential starting fullback. So I missed out on Jalen McMillan, but he probably wasn't coming here anyway. But Tutu Atwell, that would be some help at receiver for sure. And I'm going to go with a neutral deal, 2-year deal, see if this really gives us an upper end. It does. We're over the Titans. They're the only other team offering for his services. No real upgrades at tight end. Sanders, really, we would have to offer him a lot to convince him to come here, so I'm not going to do that. Let me go and take a look at our roster and see if there's any positions that we need to get depth at from here on out. What about we need a backup left tackle. We need a backup center. Getting better. Jack Campbell, 90 overall middle linebacker. Reinforcement. I like that. He's not a scheme fit guy, but 90 overall middle linebacker. He'll be the leader of our defense moving forward. What about right outside linebacker? We could use some more help there. We could use some additional corner help. But Frank Walton actually got up to an 80, our rookie that we drafted last year. So that's encouraging. If there's a free safety or strong safety, it's pretty good. I think we can go after that. Free safety. Nobody really good out here. Kyle Duggar. Tulis. We just need backups from Tulis. Let's bring in Elijah Hicks to be a backup at the safety spot. Strong safety spot, at least. Marcus Williams. That'd be a solid pickup. Cornerback. We missed out on Mitchell, and we missed out on Arnold. Elam wouldn't be, but I don't think we really need to go. You know what? Let's go after Elam. Kyer Elam. How about this neutral deal? Brings us down to $17 million. The Saints are the only other team vying for his services, and that's it for our second wave of free agency. This is the most we've been active in free agency. We're still in on Wilkins, Elam. We're going after Tutu Atwell. We're going after Dylan Parham, Dwayne Carter, Eli Wilson, Marcus Williams, Joey Bosa, Aiden O'Connell, and Elijah Hicks. Nobody else is really going after anybody except Dwayne Carter is getting interest from another team. But hoping we can get these guys. Let's see. Did we sign anybody? Looks like we did. And we got all of them except O'Connell and Hicks to sign. Things are looking better in terms of our depth. So let's take a look at our roster now, and let's see what things are looking like as far as our roster makeup and what we need to kind of think about going into the draft. We'll get Aiden O'Connell. This guy, Gerald, I don't know who he really is, you know. I'll just cut him because he doesn't even have a first name. All right. So we got Tutu Atwell to be our second receiver. We got Stecker, of course, from last year. We got Tay. We got Restrepo. So we're getting younger at receiver, but bringing in Atwell, some veteran presence, and also give us a little bit of help with another good receiver, I think is solid. We do need a backup left tackle. We need a backup center and a backup right guard. Christian Wilkins, 84 overall, veteran upgrade. And we got Dwayne Carter, so he is better than Payne, but gives us a little bit of a better 1-2 punch there, if you ask me. And of course, we got Joey Bosa. I mean, 73 overall at his age kind of concerns me at least a little bit, but this is kind of the hand that we're dealt in terms of this. We're going to give him number 98. Not quite his old number, but good enough. Because going with, Justin Smith is just, not the best idea in my opinion. What about this Jack Campbell guy? I don't really know much about him. He's like our highest, player. Okay, so he plays for Detroit. And he's 46. He's number 46. So we'll have him keep his number. He played with the Detroit Lions. We do need a backup right outside linebacker. Elam, got Walden there. So cornerback wise, we're looking good. We have 4 corners that are in the 8. We have 4 corners that are in the 80s or above. And Marcus Williams is more so for depth behind Elam and Drummond. We do need a backup strong safety. Actually, need a kicker and punter. That's what we need. So let's go ahead and get a kicker and punter. So who are we still waiting on? Backup quarterback, backup strong safety. Okay, so we need a backup left tackle, though, too. Sim Richards, he'd be a cheap deal to get. Let's go with him. Backup center is also what we need. Cade Mays doesn't look too bad. Let's bring him in on a 1-year deal. I think we need a backup right guard as well. Let's go with Miles Frazier. We have $9 million, so don't have a whole lot, but we need a kicker and a punter. Let's get Brandon Aubrey. J.K. Scott. And that's it. Got no more money. So, yeah, Brandon Aubrey, J.K. Scott, Cade Mays, Frazier, Aiden O'Connell, Asim Richards, and Elijah Hicks. Those are all the guys that we're going after in the final wave of free agency. And let's see if we got everybody to sign. Looks like we did. Frazier, Bosa, Connell, Sim Richards, Hicks. There we go. We got all of our players that we wanted. But we got no more money to spend. So it is what it is. But let's go ahead and take a look at our roster. Now we kind of have the flexibility to do what we want in terms of the draft. Is anybody wearing number 10? Because I want to give that to Sayan. I want to give him his number 10 like he was wearing at Ohio State. It's time to give him that. Yep. Aiden O'Connell, we're going to give him, can't give him number 4, so we're going to give him number 14. We're going to take Sayan's number. Taylor, Ollie Gordon, DJ Giddens. I give Sim Richards like, I think 76 is what he wore in Dallas. Yeah, there we go. Let's see, did he wear, does he wear, it's my own team. Yeah, he wears 76. So Mays is actually better than Bradbury, so found an upgrade at center. There's Dwayne Carter. He wears number 90 in Buffalo. Okay, so he'll stay at 78. Couldn't really get an upgrade at right outside linebacker. There wasn't really anybody, but also couldn't really get that done. Hunter, got Moore, Elam. Let me see. What's Elam's number? Hire Elam. Yeah. Where's number 5? Or number 24 is also what he's worn. I'm going to give him 24. Because we cut that other running back who was wearing 24, so we could do that. And also, I think we may be able to restructure some of these deals while we're at it. So you know what? Let's do that. I always got to, think about that. Elam, can we restructure this deal? We can, yeah. Save us a little bit of money. Not a lot, but a little. Let's take a look at Jack Campbell's deal really quick. Yeah, it'll save us $4.05 million. So that's good. What about Bosa? I feel like he's only going to deal, so we probably can't restructure. No, we can't. I mean, he's only going feel anyway. Can't restructure. About Wilkins. No, I think he's on a one-year deal too, so yeah. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's keep Brandon Aubrey rocking number 2. We can always go for another quarterback in the draft. All right, so let's take a look at mock draft number 5 and see what they have us projected to do in the 2028 draft. Going to be once again picking towards the middle of the pack. Solomon Thomas, left guard out of Florida State. That would actually be pretty solid. We haven't drafted an offensive lineman in the first round, and some of our guys I think are going to start to break down and get old. This Michael Fazuzzi out of Oklahoma doesn't look too bad either. But then there's some receivers. This middle linebacker, Zayden Walker, actually looks pretty promising too out of Georgia, and he's also a scheme fit guy. But Solomon Thomas is more of the safer bet, but that middle linebacker looks pretty promising too, if you ask me. So that may be the direction that we go. So here we go.
Every career starts.
So with the 2028 draft, here we go. Let's see. Got QBs, of course. There's Thomas. There's Zayden Walker. I know we signed that Jack Campbell guy, but I also want to get us some upgrades for the future. And it says good pick. So I like that. Got a bunch of QBs that are available. But Amari Adams out of Clemson looks pretty promising, and we do need some help on the defensive end. Says it's a good pick, so I like that. And again, don't know how many of these guys are actually real. We'll do the testing when we get to it. This guy, Lagonza Hayward, out of Tennessee, fits our scheme. He looks pretty promising, so I'm going to go with him. It says average pick, but I don't think that's too bad of a pick there for the fourth round, for the third round. So I really don't need another QB. I might draft one as a backup. We could probably get some of those guys a little bit later. I'm going to get Deuce Knight out of Auburn. Go and get a backup QB. So it's a good pick, so we might have had some low-round value for that. Jonathan Haywood, defensive tackle, looks pretty good. I'm going to go with him. So it's a bad pick. So our first bad pick of the draft comes in the 5th round. This guy, Sharif Felix, we haven't drafted a free safety yet, so I'm okay with that. It says an average pick. So we'll go with that. 7th round selection. This guy's last name is tempting enough. Mitch Jett. Going to draft him, this cornerback. All right, so let's take a look at our draft recap. We did end up going with the middle linebacker with the first-round pick. Zayden Walker out of Georgia. Starting out at a 74 overall is promising. Yes, we did sign Jack Campbell, who's a 90 overall, but, we need to get some depth at linebacker. Amari Adams, defensive end. Left end, 73. We just need to get some upgrades there. We also drafted Lagonza Hayward, a free safety, 71. 72, Deuce Knight to be a backup quarterback, really behind Sayin. We drafted Jonathan Haywood. So we got Hayward and a Haywood. Defensive tackle, 63 overall. Sharif Felix is a free safety, 68 overall. And we drafted Mitch Jett. The name alone was pretty tempting. We do need some depth at corner, so we drafted him. He's starting out at 66. So those are our draft picks for 2028. So let me go to adjust the roster and let me see kind of how things are looking, kind of make sure everybody's numbers are situated. Let me see if Deuce Knight is a real player. I feel like he isn't, but he may be. Deuce Knight. Oh, he is a real player. So he is a real player for the Auburn Tigers. He's committed to Auburn, so he is a real player. All right. Well, let me see if I can give him number 2, actually. Let me actually give Brandon Aubrey another number, maybe like something in the teens, like when he's close to wearing number 17. Let me see if I can do that. Let me give him 18. Actually, no, I can't do that. That's Peyton Manning's number. I'm not going to give him Peyton Manning's number. That number I think is like retired pretty much. So yeah, we're gonna give him number 15, and we're going to give Knight number 2. Even though the pictures that I'm looking at, he's a black quarterback. This is a white guy, but still, whatever. Beggars can't be choosers. This roster was made up and everything, so I'm not going to get too hard on the guy who made him. Let's see. We didn't draft a receiver. We didn't draft a tight end. Amari Adams. Let me look him up and see if he's a real player. I don't think he is. Oh, this 2247 came up, so he is a real player. Okay. All right. Looks like in high school he wears 52. He's committed to Clemson. Okay. So let me see if I can give him 52. This defensive tackle, this guy, Christian Miller, this guy's not a real player anyway, so I'm just going to give him a random number. 53. And I'm going to give Adams 52. Starting out at a 74 is looking a bit promising. So, yeah. Once again, like with that quarterback, this guy is actually a black guy, but they have this white guy in the game. But whatever, it is what it is. We're so much like into the latter years that, yeah. Let me see if this Jonathan Haywood guy is real. It seems like Jonathan Haywood. Yeah, I don't. No, he's not real. He's not a real player. We both. Zayden Walker. He may be real. Zayden Walker. His huddle profile came up right away. Georgia linebacker. Okay, well, he's committed to Georgia. Looks like he wears number 0. But he also looks like he wore number 3 for a little bit. We could potentially give him, I guess, number 3. Once again, not the right skin tone, but it is what it is. I want to adjust the roster a little bit. I want to move Spencer actually over to right outside linebacker so we have some more depth over there. We're going to move him to right outside linebacker. So that way, behind Ross, We've got some depth. 76 and 65. Not too promising, but not too bad either. Walden, Pride, Mitch Jett. I don't know if this guy's real or not, but I like his name. Mitch Jett. Mitchell Jett? Nah, he's not a real player. I like his name, though. Marcus Williams. Lagonza Hayward. I feel like this has got to be a real player. Lagonza Hayward? Oh, he is real. Florida State. Tennessee. Tennessee. Committed to Tennessee. Also wears number 0. Okay. Well, we'll keep him wearing 39 then. And Sharif Felix, maybe. Sharif Felix. Nah, he's not real. Okay. So I think our roster is pretty much set. As far as the numbers, as far as positions and everything, I think we're looking pretty good there. So let's go ahead and advance to the preseason week, and we'll keep going. Roster is actually starting at 63 players, so that's promising in terms of, the roster makeup looking a little bit better. Well, hopefully this is the year that we finally make the playoffs. We've improved this team a little bit, but I feel like we weren't able to really get some very big, serious upgrades, and it may be time to make a serious trade, but I don't know. But thank you all for watching. Shout out to KJL and also TTVCG1619 for checking out the live stream. I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate your support of the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.